Welcome in, Tamers. Today, once again, it's another deck profile from MiniKill. This time we're looking at Gallantmon. We got the mat and everything. DC1 was many years ago, but we're out here with the Gammamon. This is Gallantmon. Did I say Gammamon to begin with? God knows anymore. But this deck was lent to me by a good old friend Damien from Locals. If your name is Damien, it could be you. If it's not, then I don't know. But you know if you're the right Damien. Anyway, there you go. So this is his profile. I'm just covering it because Gallantmon is still pretty prevalent at the moment in the DigimonTCG. So, let's kick it off. He's running 4 EX2 Digimon, I do believe, yep. This of course has the inherit of if this Digimon has Gallantmon, Growlmon or Gallantmon in its name, draw 1 card when attacking, once per turn. Very nice, not bad at all. But we are also looking at one of the BT12, which adds 1000 to the maximum DP based deletion effects. And we'll be seeing that in the deck quite a bit. So, kick it off now with 4 EX2 Gallantmons. This of course is the on play, reveal top 4 cards of your deck, add 1 with Growl or Gallant in name, and 1 with Takato among them. Place the rest to the bottom. Very nice, so you're searching out the pieces that you need, kind of just pushing you further forward into the entire game plan. But then the inherit here is, if this Digimon has Growlmon or Gallant, this is very important, Growl or Gallant, if it's in its name, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP or less. Your opponent cannot, or you cannot do this if you are in Gallantmon X Antibody, because it says Growlmon or Gallantmon. This was pointed out to me thanks to Tommy and the Tommy NT from Fanboy3, that group of people up there. The biggest Gallantmon nerd I know, shout outs. But yeah, here we go. We have 4 of those Gallantmons. Then we are running 2 of the BT19 Gallantmon, which is start of main. If you have a Takato or Kalumon, gain 1 memory. With the inherit of, while you have 0 or less memory, add 2000 to this Digimon's DP based deletion effects. Sort of the same as the Digimon. So if you have this in the stack, you're kind of just looking at plus 3000 if you're on 0 or less memory. When it says or less memory, that means the memory counter is in your opponent's side. Obviously your turn effects can still go off while it's there if you've just done Digivolving and stuff like that. But basically, while the memory counter is on 0 or your opponent's side, that is 1 or 0 or less. Not quite the end of the 3s, but I thought I'd note them here. 4 Gallantmon X Antibody. Of course, the absolute need that this deck got, of course. Can evolve over a Digimon or Gallantmon for 0, otherwise it costs 1 over a red or purple. On play when Digivolving, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with Growlmon or Gallant in name, and 1 X Antibody, note this is the option, among them to your hand. Return the rest to the bottom of the deck, with the inherit of when any of your opponent's Digimon are deleted, gain 1 memory. That's not bad at all. Rounding out though, we are running 1 Rush Gallantmon, this is, of course. On play, if the total number of cards in both players' trash equals 20 or more, this Digimon gains Rush for the turn. A great game ender here basically, and that's what this card is mostly used for in decks these days, especially like Purple Hybrid, we saw it quite a lot. We're seeing it a lot in Gallant here. What I would have probably liked to have seen instead is maybe swapping out the 2 BT19 for 2 more Rush Gallantmon to kind of close out the game. But I can see why it's not being run now, because you're more often than not going to have a Takato down, hopefully, to help you gain that memory off of the Gallantmon. For the BT19 Gallantmon, I realise me saying just Gallantmon doesn't make sense there. But maybe looking for at least 1 more Rush Gallantmon would be my suggestion here. Now, I've ordered this in a very horrible way here, but we're gonna shuffle some stuff around in hand, and we're gonna look at ST7 Growlmon. There's not a lot of normal Growlmons from what I've noticed, and it's very weird, especially if you want to run like pure Gallant these days, and not the kind of mishmash, Megimill, Gallantmon sort of stuff, where you don't trash cards. So, there's not that many. However, ST7, when an opponent's Digimon is deleted, you gain a memory. Pair that with the Gallantmon X Antibody, you're getting 2 memory for just deleting 1 of your opponent's Digimon. Other than that, no effect, 2 evolution, 4 drop, 5000 DP, very nice. We are then looking at one black Growlmon. So like I was saying, there's not too much in the way of pure like red Gallantmon stuff these days. You've got the MiniKill stuff and this stuff here. This is from EX4. When Digivolving, trash the top 2 cards of both players' deck. Then you may return one Gallantmon card or one card with Growlmon or Gallant in its name from your trash to your hand. You're able to recur Rush Gallantmon, you're able to recur Gallantmon X, all of that sort of stuff. The Inherit, of course, on deletion you may return one Gallantmon or one card with Growlmon or Gallant in its name from your trash to hand. Ooh, so a really nice cycle card. The problem is you're also milling 2 cards. Okay, sure, Gallantmon doesn't really care, and okay, sure, you kind of want stuff in trash for the Rush Gallantmon. To me, it feels a little bit though, if we're putting it bluntly. The next 4 we're running is 3 BT19 Growlmon. When Digivolving, if you have 1 or fewer Tamers, you may play 1 Takato from your hand. The standard these days, the standard play your Tamer, not too bad at all. And of course the Inherit as well, while you have 0 or less memory, add 2000 to this Digimon's deletion effect. Cool, so that's a total of, what, plus 5,000 if you've got the entire line across. But finishing up the 4s, we have 3 Growlmon X Antibody. When Digivolving, draw 1, trash 1. Standard purple side of things. Then, if Growlmon or X Antibody is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards until the end of your opponent's turn, this Digimon gains on deletion. You may play 1 card with Gallantmon in its name from your trash without paying the cost. Cool. Evolve into Growl X early game, swing, flippin' die in security, whatever, get blocked, yada yada yada. Play out another searcher to search pieces you need, maybe. Or play Rush Gale for game if you're at that kind of stage, all of that sort of good stuff. Inherit, of course, once again, when any of your opponent's Digimon are deleted, gain 1 memory. Damn. Damn. He's possibly gaining a maximum of 3 memory off of 1 turn at this point. I've done it once again where things aren't in the right order in my hand. So we are looking at, once again, 2 purple red EX3 War Growlmons. When Digivolving, both players trash top 3 cards of their deck. Then if a player has 5 more cards in their trash, you may play 1 Gallantmon or Takato from your hand or trash without paying the memory cost. Cool, syncs up nicely with that level 4 that I was just complaining about a second ago, but at the end of the day, it's got no Inherit, so you're not really wanting to use this Growlmon, this War Growlmon, and this is mostly just a stepping stone at this point. The main one you're going to be wanting to play, from what I've been seeing people run, is the BT12 War Growlmon. This, of course, we'll read through the main effect first. This, of course, is when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4,000 or less. If you've passed over the memory, you can add the additionals as well. The BT12 GG will already add 1,000, so possibly 5, possibly 9,000 DP. If no opponent's Digimon were deleted by this effect, you may Digivolve into a Digimon that is level 6 with Gallantmon in its name from your hand. For the Digivolution cost, if it evolves by this effect, reduce it by 1. So cool, you're maybe going into Gallantmon for 2. Note that it was Gallant in name, so you can go into Gallantmon X Antibody. The reason this one is played is for the inherited effect. End of attack. If your opponent has no Digimon in play, and this Digimon has Growlmon or Gallantmon in name, gain 2 memory. That's insane. That's insane. Especially with Gallant X, which we'll get into in just a little bit. You're able to clear your opponent's board very, very quickly these days. It's insane that they printed Gallant X knowing that Wargrowl BT12 was a card that exists. We are running also 1 Wargrowlmon Ace, hand counter, Blast Digivolve, we know what that does. On play when Digivolving, delete up to 3,000 DP total worth of Digimon. That's not right. Delete up to 3,000 DP total worth of your opponent's Digimon. For each of your opponent's Digimon, add 2,000 to this DP deletion effect maximum. Then, for each Digimon this effect deleted, gain 1 memory. Well then. Cool, so 3,000, if I have a Digimon that's 5,000, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10,000, maybe. Going higher depending if I have more Digimon as well. And that's total worth, so it's not just one body. If I had 3 bodies that were all 3k and that happened, though all 3 of those can get deleted, and my opponent gains 3 memory. Kind of insane, but the inherit here, all turns, add 3000 to this Digimon's DP deletion-based deletion effect. Insane. It's a great blast card in my opinion. Just a shame that it doesn't get run more, but again, like, you don't need it because you have that +2 memory on the end of attack. Rounding out the 5s, we do have War Gallantmon X Antibody. Evolves for 1 over War Growl. When digivolving until the end of your opponent's turn, this Digimon can't be returned to hand or deck and gets +3000. Then, if War Gallantmon or X Anti is in sources, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 10,000 DP or less. Inherited effect of Security Attack +1. Wild. Good job, Bandai. This is a good level 5. It's just a shame it's in Gallantmon. That's my opinion. Don't care. Fight me for it. But no, guys, in all seriousness, Gallantmon did kind of need this sort of power buff. Just not this much power. In my opinion, this is. And I know that people will fight me for it. On to the 6s. We've got 2 BT19 Gallantmon. When digivolving when attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 8000 DP or less, plus the effects, of course. If this effect didn't delete, this Digimon gets +3000 and gains blocker until the end of your opponent's turn. Your turn, while you have 0 or less memory, this Digimon isn't affected by your opponent's effects. Pretty standard. Again, you're evolving for 2 off of maybe the BT12 War Growl. You're evolving for 3 off of War Growl X and then swinging with maybe Raid or Blitz or something that a Takato gives you. It's not the end of the world. Of course, we're running the company-mandated 1 Rush Gallantmon. We all know what Rush Gallantmon does. He has Rush. Very nice. On play when digivolving when attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6000 DP or less. If no Digimon was deleted, delete something with 13,000 or more DP. So there is a nice little window that people can survive in. But, you know, happens. The reason that this is so important is because if combined there is 35 cards in trash, this Digimon can get played for 0. And of course he has Rush, can swing, all of that good stuff. The reason he's getting played for 0 is because for every 5 cards in both players' trash, total, reduce the play cost by 2. So very nice. He was Death X 2.0. I'm just going to put it out there. Those that know. Drop a comment down below, of course, thank you. We are, of course, then running the powerhouse of the cell. This is the mitochondria that is known as Gallantmon X Antibody. This card does so much. Can go over a Gallantmon for 1 cost, of course, as a typical X Antibody card. He is... was he the second 3-color card? I think he was the second 3-color card we got in the game. As a red, blue, yellow. When digivolving, when attacking, if Gallantmon or X Anti is in this Digimon's Digivolution sources, this Digimon gets +4000 and one of your opponent's Digimon gets -4000 DP. When digivolving, end of attack, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 10,000 or less DP. If this effect didn't delete, trash top security and unsuspend. Not only that, but all turns, as opposed to the just your turn, while you have 0 or less memory, this Digimon isn't affected by your opponent's Digimon effects. Very strong man. Very, very strong man. He can swing twice, doing 4 checks, trashing a card, leaving you on lethal with Blitz Omni. But hey, who runs Blitz Omni in this day and age? We'll see in a minute. Because we're running 1 Medieval Gallantmon. This card, once again, just like Rush Gallantmon, isn't bad for just hard playing at this point. Especially if you already have a body on board, or your opponent has 2 bodies on board. Being able to just delete something very easily is nice. Not only that as well, but you can just evolve it over War Growlmon and Vortex Swing with Alliance. So it's pretty good nonetheless, right? Like, Medieval Gallantmon, somebody at Bandai went, yes, we need to add a new Vortex Warrior, Vortex Knight, whatever. It's going to be Gallantmon. Yeah, he does everything that, like, a Gallantmon does, but better. So that's... Speaking of Gallantmon, but better, his Crimson Mode Ace. This card... Oh, Bandai, why? This card does everything, because not only can he ace over a Gallantmon in name, making it so that he can ace over Medieval Gallantmon, Gallantmon X Antibody, Rush Gallantmon, Gallantmon Normal Gallantmon. He can go over any Gallantmon, and for some reason, That's fine. Where did Medieval go? He's at the bottom. Put him back at the top. I like this card. So yeah, this does what old Crimson mode does, but once again slightly better in my opinion, because you can blast Digivolve it. Not only that, when Digivolving, delete up to 15,000 total worth of opponent's Digimon. Once again, let's add probably 5k, probably 3k. Cool, 18,000, 20,000 DP deletion of as many bodies as you can. Very nice. When attacking, however, once per turn, for every 10 cards in both players' trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. So if there is 30 cards total, trash 3 cards. Very nice. Why? Why are we printing things like this? I don't know. But like I was saying, who runs Blitz Omni these days? Omnimon X Antibody. Oui, the Frenchman himself is here. Not a Blast Digivolve, however, but a Digivolve over Omnimon. We don't care about that. Raid, Piercing, and Blocker. Not only that, but on play when Digivolving, if Omnimon or X Antibody is in this Digimon's Digivolution sources, choose one of both players' Digimon and delete all other Digimon. Then return one of your opponent's Digimon to the bottom of the deck. Who printed this? Whose idea was this? But then the end of turn, here's the thing, the end of turn, one of your Digimon may gain Rush, or the turn, and attack without suspending. Cool. So you know how I've just said that, like, Gallant X with a War Growlmon underneath it can swing, do 2 checks at 16,000. Cool, I survived. Didn't delete one of my opponent's Digimon. Unsuspend, trash, or security. That's 3 checks gone. Swing, Gallant X. Cool, very nice. Very, very nice. Cool, very nice. Cool, very nice. Cool, very nice. Bear with me 2 seconds. Apologies. As I was saying, you can just end turn by going into Omni X and swinging without suspending, because you have X Antibody in sources. Be it that, or be it Protoform. Both of which, very broken, both of which are very stupid. Bandai, why did Omnimon X Antibody? I accidentally clicked the stop recording button, because I am a fool. Either way, moving on to Tamers, we're running 3 of the BT19 Takato. Start your turn. If you have 2 or less memory, set it to 3. Your turn, when any of your Digimon Digivolve into a Digimon with Growlmon or Gallantmon in its name, by suspending this Tamer, that Digimon gains Raid for the turn, then that Digimon may attack a player. Note that it's not Rush, okay? It doesn't give Rush, but it gains Raid. So even if you couldn't get, even if your opponent's Digimon wasn't affected by effect, and you're in Gallantmon X Antibody, you Digivolve into Gallantmon X Antibody, make Takato go to sleep, gains Raid, and can attack a player. Going to attack a player. Nope, it's going to raid into the highest unsuspended Digimon. Cool, very nice. Don't know why, but here we are. Then we're running 2 of the BT17 Takato as well. Start of your main phase. If you have a Digimon with Gilmon, Growlmon, or Gallantmon in its name, gain 1 memory. End of your turn by placing this Tamer and 1 Growlmon and 1 War Growlmon from your trash at the bottom of one of your Gilmon. That Digimon may Digivolve into Gallantmon, ignoring its Digivolution requirements and without paying the cost. Cool, it's a free warp. Why can't Vmon get this? Why can't... Oh, camera. Why can't all the other warpers get this? Why do we all have to pay? Why do we have to pay? Moving on to options. 2 red memory boost. We know what it does. Search top 4, pull a red Digimon. 2 red training. We know what it does. Search top 2. Next turn you may Digivolve for 2 less cost. 2 red trainings. We know what it does. I mean, it's quite new, but we still know what it does. One of your Digimon may Digivolve for 3 less. Start of turn. If your opponent has a Digimon, delay. Return one of your red Digimon cards from your trash to the top of your deck. Then, if you don't have a Digimon, play 1 Digimon with 2,000 or less DP. As long as it's red, you're good to go. Rounding it off though, like I showed, 2 X Antibodies. The deck kind of just needs it. The deck swinging, you kind of need it to go into Omni X. Protoform is a nice alternative, don't get me wrong. Like, again, Protoform is a nice alternative. But I think X-Antibody normal kind of just works perfectly fine for this deck. And I don't see a problem with it. The deck is great. The deck is phasing out, but it got saved once again by Omnimon X-Antibody and Medieval Gallantmon. Those two cards, this card here, Omnimon X-Antibody and Medieval Gallantmon, are the biggest menace cards in the meta right now, in my opinion. Medieval not so much anymore, but Omni X 100%. It's what's catapulted Royal Knights to the top. It's what's not catapulted, but it's what's kept Gallantmon in the loop so much at the moment. And I don't hate it. I don't hate it. But the power scaling at the moment just feels a little bit insane. And we're going to have to see where it goes, especially with Digimon Adventure sets coming out. We know that there's going to eventually be more Omnimons again. And this card can go over any Omnimon. Well, it doesn't say Omnimon in name, so it can't go over Alter S. But it can go over normal Omnimon for a cost of 2. That's kind of just insane in my opinion. And I don't think we quite needed that yet in the game. But either way, this was Gallantmon. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Once again, shout out to Damien. Thank you for letting me borrow this list. I'm sorry if I've butchered reasonings behind you running certain things. I'd love to see what you say in the comments as well. But as of right now, I'm going to get the hashtag out, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!